It's now estimated more than $55 billion in opioid settlement money will go to states around the country to help fight the opioid epidemic. Spotlight on America has been tracking the settlement money, and we discovered many grassroots organizations who've been on the front lines battling the drug crisis for the past decade are having a hard time accessing the funds. How old are you now?
8, about to be 9.
It's been almost 2 years since Ava lost her dad to an opioid overdose.
There you go.
Ever since, she's been raised in Columbus, Ohio by her grandmother, Jackie Lewis, who is now a fierce advocate for families who've lost loved ones to substance use. Lewis had high hopes that opioid settlement money could help impacted families, from paying for funeral expenses to making sure treatment is available on demand. But she says getting funds has been difficult.
The process for applying is very complicated, in my opinion.
Ohio set up the One Ohio Recovery Foundation to distribute 55% of the settlement money to the community. It's been 2 years since the state received its first payout, but One Ohio has yet to distribute any funds.
It infuriates me, quite honestly.
One Ohio finally opened an application process for grants this spring and said on its website grant announcements were expected to begin mid-summer. But in late July, that was removed and replaced with announcements expected later this year. One Ohio did not answer our request for an interview, but told Spotlight on America in an email mid-summer was just an estimated timeline. But given the high volume of funding requests, more than 1,400 applications, the review process is still underway.
Every day it's not out there, that's another day where people are dying, another family is losing their child, or another little child's left without their mommy or daddy.
How are you doing?
It's really hard.
Alexis Plus lost her son Jeff to an overdose 10 years ago and has dedicated her life to fighting the opioid epidemic ever since. She founded Truth Farm, which is known for its yearly March on Washington and represents families across the country. She says grassroots groups nationwide are having trouble getting funds.
It's 100% a problem across the country.
Why is it so important for grassroots organizations to get some of these dollars?
We're coming in and filling in the gaps and taking care of people that the systems are leaving behind. Nobody's going to go the distance like a mom or a dad who's lost their own kid.
The grant tracking portal. OpioidSettlementTracker.com recently launched a new resource with the Legal Action Center. It's New Jersey, no process. New Mexico, no process. It keeps track of which states are offering grant opportunities to community groups.
Hundreds of thousands of people had to die for state and local governments to get their billions of dollars from these pharmaceutical companies. So in order to spend these monies well, I think it's imperative for decision makers to reach out to the folks impacted most.
Founder Christine Minhey says about a dozen states have yet to announce community grant programs.
One of our big goals to level the playing field for those who might need these resources most. Community organizations that have tiny budgets are going up against these extremely well-financed applicants who know how to play the game.
Back in Ohio, Jackie Lewis joined forces with 8 nonprofits and hired a company that specializes in grant writing to help them apply for funds.
We needed somebody that understood the inside track, so to speak, and this group, they know the players, the politicians, how the workings are.
So now they wait and hope for funding to help their cause. What do you want us to know about your grandma, Jackie?
She's a good mom.
Oh.
More than 3,600 Ohioans died last year due to opioid overdoses. The state is slated to get about $2 billion in settlement money over 18 years. That's more than most other states because it was harder hit by the opioid epidemic. For Spotlight on America, I'm Angie Moreschi.